Hello everyone, welcome to another video of our series UPSC CSE 2026 CSAT paper. I am Dr. Ritesh Singla. This is the third video of this series. In the previous videos, we have taken care of all the questions asked in CSAT based on mathematics and logical reasoning in between question number 1 to 20 of set A. In this video, we will start from question number 21. Okay, so let us start with question number 21. It says that x and y are two real numbers and they are in between 1 by 3 and 2. Then which of the following statement is or are correct? So this is purely logical based question. A basic mathematics you will require here, that if something is true, then what should be the condition, on which basis, on which conditions the following statement will be hold. Okay, so if you see the first statement, it is saying that x plus 1 upon x has to be less than y plus 1 upon y. So if you do some manipulation, it is y minus x. It is same as saying y minus x is greater than 1 upon x minus 1 upon y. Or it is same as saying y minus x is greater than y minus x upon xy. Or it is same as saying, if I cancel it, I can cancel it because y is strictly greater than x, so it is a non-zero number. If and only if xy is greater than 1. So in order that to equation 1 to be true, we should have xy should be greater than 1. But this is not true. This might not hold true, right? You can take some x and y such that x into y is say less than 1 or equal to 1. For example, take x is equal to 1 by 2, y is equal to 2, xy is equal to 1. They satisfy the above condition that x is greater than 1 by 3, less than y, less than 2. Okay, it should be less than 2, but you can take another number. It is not a big deal. So say 2 upon 3 and take here 3 upon 2. Okay, so xy is again equal to 1, but it is not greater than 1, so equation 1 will not hold true. So this statement is incorrect. Similarly, let us see the second equation. What does it mean that it is 1 plus y square upon y square is less than 1 plus x square upon x square? I have just taken this x to be in the square root, so it becomes x square. Or is it equivalent to saying that and root 1 upon y square plus 1 is less than and root 1 upon x square plus 1. Squaring both sides, it is equivalent to saying 1 upon y square plus 1 is less than 1 upon x square plus 1, which is equivalent to saying 1 upon y square is less than 1 upon x square, which is equivalent to saying x square is less than y square, which is equivalent to saying x is less than y, which is true, which was a given statement. So we do not need any other condition, any other extra condition in order to make sure of this second statement. So the second statement will always hold as soon as x is less than y. So second statement is correct. Hence option B is your correct option. Right? Let us move to the next question. What is the minimum number of times one needs to measure to get 298 liters of water from a tank if the measuring cylinder have capacities 1 liter, 6 liter, 25 liters and 100 liters? So what is it saying? That how many times you need to measure to get 298 liters of water from a tank. So you have a tank and you want to take exactly 298 liters of water out of it. Okay. And measuring cylinder have capacities 1, 6, 25 and 100. Okay. So first of all, you just need to break this 298 into this 1, 6, 25 and 100. So it will be 2 into 100. 200 is gone, plus 3 into 75, because we want, sorry, 3 into 25, because we want to take the minimum number of times. So the minimum number of ways we can withdraw 298 liter of water. So we will start with the maximum of each we can take. So I want to take out 298 liters of water. So if I am taking a 100 liters can, I can just dip it two times at max, right? So 2 into 100, then 3 into 25. So it is 75. How much is left? 23. So it will be again 3 into 6 and then 5 into 1. So in total you are 5, 3, 8 and 3, 11 and 2, 13. So 13, which is your correct answer. As simple as that. You have 298 liters of water. You want to find minimum number of cylinders to take out 298 liters of water, and you have these measurements. So take as maximum as you can from particular can. So for 100 liters of can, you can dip it twice, because then the remaining amount is less than 100. Basically, you are taking the remainders after each term. So 2 into 100, then 3 into 25, then 3 into 6, plus 5 into 1. So basically 5 times you are dipping in a cylinder of 1 liter capacity, 3 times 6 liter, 3 times 25 liters, and 2 times 100 liters. And in totals, you have to dip your cylinders 13 times. That is all. So option D is the correct answer. Let us move to the next question. There are four types of weights, namely 1, 2, 5 and 10. What is the maximum number of different ways one can measure 20 kgs? If at least 8 but not more than 11 weights of 1 kg are to be used. See, you want to go to 20. Okay. And you should have at least 8 of 1. So 8 kgs are already gone. So basically you need to measure 12 kgs. So they are asking, you need to measure 12 kgs. In how many different ways you can measure 12 kgs using these? And now you do not have any restriction. The only restriction is you can not use the 1 kg dumbbell more than 3 times, basically. Okay. So basically what you can do is, suppose we are not using 1 kg at all. So 0 1 kg. Suppose we start with 0 1 kg. Then what could be the possibility? It is 10 plus 2, because I want to reach 12. Or the other possibility is 5 plus 5 plus 2. Or the other possibility is 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. These three possibilities if I'm not using any 1 kg dumbbell. If I'm using one 1 kg dumbbell, okay, one kg weight, so I need to measure around 11 kg of weights. So how can I make it? Either it will be 10 plus 1, or it will be 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, or it will be 5 plus 5 plus 1. But not more than 11. Yes. So in order to complete 11 kgs, I can do it. Okay, I cannot use 10 plus 1 and 5 plus 5 plus 1, sorry, because I have fixed that I will only use one 1 kg dumbbell, one 1 kg weight. I have fixed it. So the only possibility is left is 5 plus 2 plus 2. So one possibility is here. Now suppose I am using two 1 kg weights, two 1 kg weights. So I am left with 10 kgs. So how can I do it? Either 10 or 5 plus 5, or 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. These are the only three possibilities. Similarly, if I am using three 1 kg weights, so I need to cover 9 kg weight more. So either it is, only possibility is 5 plus 2 plus 2. One possibility. So in total I have 3, 4, 3, 7 plus 1. Total 8 possibilities. You can measure 20 kgs of weights. Is it clear? Right? What we are saying is, in the question they have said that you have to measure 20 kgs of weight. You should have at least 8 weights of 1 kg. So I have reduced all of those weights, that they are already there. So the only weight left with us is 12 kgs. So we need to weigh 12 kgs using the above dumbbells, above weights, first of all. Then we have an extra condition that we cannot extend number of 1 kgs by 11 in total. We have already used 8. So we can at max use 3 1 kgs more. Okay, at one particular time at max. So you can use 0 1 kgs, 1 1 kgs, 2 1 kgs or 3 1 kgs. So I have made all the cases that if I am using 0 1 kgs, so I need to cover 12 kgs more using 2 5 and 10. If I am using one weight of 1 kg, then I need to cover 11 kg using again weights of 2 5 and 10. Similarly, if I have 2 1 kgs weight, then again remaining 10 I need to cover with 2 5 and 10, and similarly for 3 1 kgs. And from there you can find all the possibilities, and in total you will have 8 different possibilities. That is your answer. So option B is the correct answer. Let us move to the next question, which is question number 25. It is saying that the class average x in a test increases by 4 when the score of a student is rectified whose corrected score is 100 instead of 0. Okay, suppose we have n number of student first of all, because we want to take the average. What it is saying is initially the class average was for x, okay, which increased by 4. So I do not know the class average, how will I calculate? But one thing is for sure, that one of the student, suppose that student have p marks, which is already given, that student initially have 0 marks. So basically if I start with x, so it is 0 marks of one student plus some p marks of remaining n minus 1 student, n minus 1 student upon total number of student is n, right? So what I'm saying is the total number of n minus 1 student have say nx marks, right? So that is also, you can say that the n minus 1 student have in total nx marks, that you can also say. What it is saying is if I just add x plus 4, the mean increased by 4. So the earlier mean was x, the new mean is 4. So x plus 4 is equal to how much? It is 100 plus nx upon n. First thing, right? Initially the mean was x, it increased by 4. When the mark of this student whose earlier marks was 0, now it is 100. So the earlier marks has been updated. So the new average will be 100 plus nx upon n. Okay, or I can say that 100 is equal to 4n, or n is equal to 25. First of all, from here, first information. Okay, later the score of another student was found to have been recorded as 81 in place of 56. So again we can play with here that earlier the score was 81, now the score is 56. So for example, whatever the score was here, there are no other correction, and the final corrected average is y. So the final corrected average, will be here 100 plus nx upon n. It was the corrected average, but one of the student have got 81 marks earlier. So I can say that if I subtract his 81 marks, and how much marks it should have been here, 56, right? This is the new average y. Fine. So you can say that it is the previous average, which is x plus 4, which is this one, and n is 25 minus 25 upon 25. So it is 1. So y is equal to x plus 3. So basically y minus x is equal to 3. Option B is correct. As I said earlier in the videos, that if you try to memorize the information given to you, you will never able to solve these questions. But if you just write the information and proceed your calculation as per the information is getting updated, it will be very easy. But we have done that, we have assumed that the initial average was x and the student were n. Okay, it was given that one of the marks was 0. So basically, the rest n minus 1 student was having nx marks. That is how the total average will be n. Okay. So initially, n minus 1 student was having nx marks. So I took this. But when I have updated the mark of this student 0 to 100, so the new average should be nx plus 100 upon n. It is the average increased by 4. So the new average is x plus 4. On solving, we have 25 student. Okay, because we have 25 student, that is why if you are increasing something by 100, your complete average is increasing by 4. Okay, that is fine, because once you get the numbers, it is quite easier to visualize that something average is increased by 4. So what should be the number if the number change was 100? So the number of students should be 25. Once the number of student is 25, now they are saying that you have recorded the earlier marks was 81, which was wrong. The new mark is 56. So basically, you have already added 25 marks extra. So basically, if I want to update the new one, the new average will be basically one less than the previous, right? So if the previous average was say x plus 4, the new average will be this x plus 3, and then the difference between y minus x is 3, because x was the original average. Okay, let us come to the next question, which is question number 29. So if you see, we have a jump here, like from question number 25 we are moving to question number 29. So if you will see set A, you will find that the question in between 25 and 29, they are reading comprehensive question, and in this series we are just focusing on the mathematical and logical reasoning based questions. Okay, the next question says three variable x, y and z take values 2, 3, 4 or 5 such that their values are always distinct. Okay, so x, y, z can take any of these values, but none of the values are repeated. So if x is taking 2, then y and z can take bit from 3, 4 and 5, and say y is taking 3, then z can be either 4 or 5. If m and n denotes the largest possible value and the smallest possible value respectively for the expression x cross y plus z, then what is m minus n? Up see, you have three numbers. You want to find the maximum and all are positive. The very good thing is all are positive. You want to find the maximum and the minimum. How will you find the maximum? In order to find the maximum, wherever you have multiplication, put as much as you can. So take x is equal to 5, y is equal to 4, and in order to add something, add the next max largest possible number. Says that is equal to 3, that is the largest possible number. This is the largest number you can get as x cross y plus z. So it will be 23. Similarly, when you want to find the smallest one, you try to multiply the smallest number as possible. So I will take x to be 2, y to be 3, and then take z to be 4. So it will be 6 plus 4, which is 10. So the maximum number, the largest number is 23. The smallest or the minimum number is 10. So the difference is 23 minus 10, which is 13. Answer. Option C is correct. Fine. Let us move to the next question. Suppose x, y and z are variables taking positive real numbers as their possible values. It is given that y is directly proportional to x square. So if you have ever read anything in physics, you must have read, because you might have read science sometime in your life. So when we say directly proportional, we mean to say that y is equal to some constant k1 times x square, where k1 is positive. As you will change the x square, your y will change. And x is inversely proportional to z. So basically x is equal to k2 upon z. This is the mean by inversely proportional. For z is equal to 7 upon 25, the value of x and y are given. See, so from here you can find k1 and k2. Just substitute. K2 is x times z. X is 5, z is 7 upon 25. So K2 is 7 upon 5. K1 is y upon x square. Y is 50, x is 5, so square is 25. K1 is 2, right? If y is equal to 98, what is said? So y is 98, y is 2x square. This implies 2x square is equal to 98, x square is equal to 49, x is equal to plus minus 7. But since x is positive, x is equal to 7. Once x is equal to 7, xz is equal to k2, which is 7 upon 5. If x is equal to 7, 7z is equal to 7 upon 5. This implies z is equal to 1 upon 5. Answer. Pure calculation. You do not need to know anything. Just addition and subtraction and multiplication. If you just know 2 plus 3 is 5, you are able to solve it. Okay. With this question, we stop here and we will take on the next question in the next video. Thank you for watching.